Some journeys do more than move us across distance. They carry us into landscapes that feel almost unreal. It raises a simple question. How did humans manage to carve paths of iron through terrain that resists almost everything? Every bridge and every tunnel tells a story of precision, patience, and adaptation. They are not just feats of engineering, but moments where human ingenuity meets the raw forces of the planet. They invite us to slow down, to step away from the familiar, and to observe the world from a different perspective. In this journey, we explore 25 of the world's most beautiful railway routes, many still unknown to the wider world. What unfolds along these tracks blurs the line between reality and imagination. Semmering Railway, Austria. Built between 1848 and 1854, it was the world's first standard-gauge railway to traverse a rugged, mountainous region. What amazed experts was how the route winded along the terrain instead of destroying it. With an impressive number of 16 viaducts, 15 tunnels, and over 100 stone arch bridges, it was recognized as a World Heritage Site in 1998. At the time, many believed that taking a train to an altitude of nearly 900 meters above sea level was impossible. But Geiger designed the route with gentle curves and carefully calculated gradients that would meet future demands. And he was right. Just a few years after its completion, new generations of locomotives conquered Semmering with ease. Glacier Express, Switzerland. A famous scenic train in Switzerland, known as the world's slowest express train. The full journey lasts approximately 8 hours, passing through 91 tunnels and over 291 bridges amidst the scenery of the Swiss Alps. The route includes the majestic Rhine Gorge, the Landwasser Viaduct, and a climb to the highest point at the Oberalp Pass. Thanks to the Furka Base Tunnel, the train operates year-round, allowing passengers to experience all seasons. The completion of the final section of the FO in 1926 opened up the Valais and Graubünden cantons for tourism development. In particular, a route was built to put into use the Kurswagen between Brig and Chur and between Brig and St. Moritz. The Ghan, Australia. It's a journey connecting the cool south with the tropical north, traversing the rugged yet breathtaking outback. This is one of the longest railway lines in the world, with a total length of approximately 2,979 kilometers, including unreal places. In the 19th century, to conquer the arid interior of Australia, Mahouts and their camels were brought in from Afghanistan. These Mahouts helped transport goods, build telegraph lines, and lay the foundation for transportation in the region. The railway line is named in honor of these flesh-and-blood desert ships, a name that includes the image of a person riding a camel. The Ghan Railroad is not for those in a hurry. It is a poem about patience and contrast. Transalpine, New Zealand. Renowned as a world-famous scenic train journey in New Zealand, it travels from coast to coast on the South Island. The route is 223 kilometers long and takes approximately 5 hours one way. It begins in the flat, fertile agricultural heartland near Christchurch. In 2026, the ship will operate daily until May 11, 2026, after which it will be reduced to 4 days a week. The ship is expected to return to full 7-day-a-week operation from July 14, 2026. Typically departs from Christchurch at 8:15 a.m. and returns from Greymouth at 2:05 p.m. Jacobite Steam Trains, Scotland. If there were a list of railway routes you must take at least once in your lifetime, the Jacobite would undoubtedly be at the top. This approximately 135-kilometer stretch from Fort William to Mallaig is considered the greatest railway journey in the world. The image of the steam train crossing the Glenfinnan Viaduct has become iconic in the Harry Potter film series. The charm of the Jacobite steam train lies not in its speed, but in its rhythm. The rhythmic hum of the steam engine and the distinctive smell of charcoal create a thick, nostalgic atmosphere. This is where rudimentary human engineering blends perfectly with the wildness of nature. Rovos Rail, South Africa. A privately owned railway company in South Africa offers luxury train journeys, blending the charm of bygone travel eras. It operates a range of itineraries lasting from 48 hours to 16 nights, connecting many popular destinations in southern Africa. The trains feature refurbished classic carriages, formal dining rooms with fine South African wines. Tours typically depart from the Rovos private railway station in Capital Park, Pretoria, and include a visit to the station. The route from Pretoria to Cape Town is a popular one, passing through the Cape Winelands and the arid Karoo Plains. With a range of journeys lasting from 48 hours to 15 days, Rovos Rail connects some of the subcontinent's most spectacular destinations. Flom Railway Norway. It connects the Myrdal station down to the tiny village of Flom, nestled deep in the Sognefjord. Although only about 20 kilometers long, it is considered one of the most audacious construction feats of the 20th century within unreal places. The construction of the Flåmsbana began in 1924 and lasted for 20 years. At that time, engineers faced incredibly steep slopes. 18 out of 20 sections of the track had gradients of up to 5.5%. To reduce the slope without causing the train to skid, they dug 20 tunnels, including spiral tunnels, through the heart of the mountain. Kuranda Scenic Railway Australia, built to connect the coastal region of Cairns with the inland Atherton tablelands where gold and other mineral deposits were found. You'll pass sheer cliffs where one side is a towering mountain and the other a deep valley. With 15 tunnels and 37 bridges built entirely by human labor amidst harsh tropical jungle conditions, disease, and steep terrain. The price of dedication was immense. Many workers perished during construction. Every meter of track you travel on is steeped in the sweat and extraordinary efforts of the workers of that era at unreal places. If you have the chance to visit, you'll get to sit in luxurious armchairs and listen to historical stories being narrated live. Blue Train, South Africa. Famous as a world-renowned luxury train, an iconic South African landmark, it primarily runs between Pretoria and Cape Town. The main route of the Green Train is a 1,600-kilometer journey between Pretoria and Cape Town, typically lasting 2 nights. A one-way route to Kruger National Park is also offered during certain months of the year to combine train travel and safari. The itinerary includes an off-boat tour to the Kimberley Diamond Town to explore the Big Hole and the Diamond Museum. The train has dining cars, club cars, and observation cars with panoramic windows at the rear to enjoy the ever-changing scenery. Belmond, Hiram, Bingham, Peru. If there is one journey that can be defined as luxury in the heart of the wilderness, it is the train ride from Cusco to Machu Picchu. The moment you step aboard, you'll be overwhelmed by the classic interior style of the 1920s. The train carriages were polished oak, with gleaming brass details and plush velvet seats. It evoked a strong sense of nostalgia, making passengers feel like aristocratic explorers of yesteryear rather than modern tourists. This railway line runs along the swift Urubamba River, traversing the sacred valley of the Incas. Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, India. It was the first and remains the most prominent example of a mountain passenger railway. Its design employed bold and ingenious engineering solutions to address the problem of establishing an efficient railway line. Construction of the Nilgiri Mountain Railway, a 46-kilometer-long narrow-gauge monorail line in Tamil Nadu state. The Kalka-Shimla Railway, a 96-kilometer monorail line built in the mid-19th century to serve the highland town of Shimla. It is a symbol of the technical and material efforts to liberate the mountainous population through railways. Pikes Peak Cog Railway, USA. Holding the title of the world's highest rack railway, unlike conventional railways which rely on friction between steel wheels and rails. This line uses a system of gears meshing with a cogwheel track in the middle to climb steep slopes that regular trains cannot handle. In the late 1880s, the only way to reach Pikes Peak was by riding a donkey for 2 grueling days through the unreal places. Zalman Simmons was the founder of the famous Simmons Bedding Company. After a grueling journey on donkey back to inspect the telegraph lines, he decided to invest in building this railway. Jungfrau Railway, Switzerland. A pioneering mountain railway in the Swiss Alps, connecting Kleiner Schiedegg with Jungfrau Joch. It is the highest railway station in Europe, situated at an altitude of 3,454 meters above sea level. Dubbed the Pinnacle of Europe, this station operates year-round via a 7-kilometer-long tunnel inside the Eiger and Monch mountain ranges. From Interlaken Ost Station, take the Bernese Oberland Railway line to Lauterbrunnen or Grindelwald. You should book your tickets online in advance and reserve your seats beforehand, especially during peak season. Kandy to Ella, Sri Lanka. The railway line from Kandy to Ella takes approximately 7 hours, traversing the central highlands of Sri Lanka. Lush green tea plantations stretch to mist-shrouded mountain ranges. Every kilometer of this journey is a work of art. Few people know that this railway line was not originally built for tourism purposes. This system was built by the British colonialists in 1864 to transport coffee from the hills to the port of Colombo. The blue train carriages still run on those old tracks, retaining the nostalgic and romantic charm of the 19th century. Inland Railway, Sweden. Construction of the Inland Railway began in 1907 and runs through the heart of rural Sweden. Today, this railway line is 100 years old, with 1,300 kilometers of track running through dense forests and offering pristine landscapes. Railways remain a vital part of Sweden's infrastructure. Because nature provides abundant resources and rail transport is far more environmentally friendly than road transport. It is primarily used for transporting tourist passengers in the summer and cargo during the rest of the year. This journey offers a unique way to experience the Swedish wilderness and the Arctic Circle. Pacific Surfliner, USA. Spanning 565 kilometers from San Luis Obispo through Los Angeles to San Diego, the train connects iconic landmarks of the West Coast. The most impressive part of the Pacific Surfliner is the section passing through Ventura and San Clemente. The railway track runs so close to the sea that when you look out the second-floor window, it's like you're gliding across the water. Brilliant golden sunlight reflects off the Pacific Ocean, interspersed with surfers waiting to catch the white-capped waves. If you're traveling from north to south, choose a seat on the right side of the ship. That's your golden ticket to enjoy unobstructed panoramic ocean views for hours on end. Coast Starlight, USA. It is a long-distance passenger train operated by Amtrak on the west coast of the United States. Established in 1971, it was the first train to offer direct service between Seattle and Los Angeles. Its name is a combination of two earlier Southern Pacific trains, the Coast Daylight and the Starlight. Before Amtrak was established, no passenger trains ran along the entire West Coast. It ran through the San Joaquin Valley from Los Angeles to Portland from 1924 to 1949, with wagons continuing on to Seattle. Gornergrat Railway, Switzerland. Inaugurated in 1898, the Gornergrat is the highest open-air rack railway in Europe. What makes it different is its special gear system, which allows the train to climb to an altitude of 3,089 meters. This is a testament to the ingenuity and perseverance of the Swiss in conquering the harsh, natural environment of unreal places. At the end of the 19th century, building a railway line to an altitude of over 3,000 meters was considered a crazy idea. Gornergrat is Switzerland's first fully electric railway. From the very beginning, the founders chose clean energy to protect the pristine environment of the Alps. Death Railway, Thailand. It became famous for its name because of the enormous number of deaths during its construction. Thousands of Allied prisoners of war and Asian workers died from malnutrition and mistreatment while building the railroad. Harsh working conditions and diseases have claimed the lives of around 90,000 workers, serving as a grim reminder of its tragic past. The Death Railway runs through Kanchanaburi Province, ending at Nam Tok Station. Starting in Ban Pong County, the railway stretches through the beautiful natural scenery of Kanchanaburi. Today, it is a significant historical site where visitors can learn about the experiences of those involved in building this railway. Cinque Terre Railway, Italy. It's not simply a means of transportation, it's the red thread connecting 5 vibrant fishing villages. If you sit by the train window, the experience will be an explosion of sensations. The train continuously passed through dark tunnels, only to suddenly open up to a breathtaking view of the Azure Sea. Villages with pastel-colored houses stacked on top of each other like Lego blocks, perched precariously on sheer limestone cliffs. Before the railway arrived in 1874, the only way to travel between villages was on foot, along treacherous trails, or by sea. Royal Scotsman, Scotland. The ship's itineraries include 2, 3, 4, 5, or 7-night voyages around the Scottish Highlands, visiting castles and historical sites. Once a year, the ship also undertakes a 7-night voyage around the entire United Kingdom. The first train consisted of Mark I sleeping cars and 3 classic dining and lounge cars. After the current train was commissioned in 1990, the classic cars continued to operate as the Queen of Scots charter train. Built in 1960 by Metropolitan Camel for the East Coast Main Railroad. This train includes 4 sleeping cars, 2 dining cars, an observation car, a staff car, and a power generator car. Harz narrow gauge, Germany. It is Germany's largest railway system, using steam locomotives for daily commercial operation. With a total length of approximately 140 kilometers, it traverses dense forests, steep valleys, and quaint towns. The most spectacular highlight is the Brockenbahn, a steam train, spewing white smoke as it slowly ascends the Brocken Peak. As the train winds around the mountainside, you'll see the scenery change from lush green pine forests to bare, snow-covered tree trunks. After the fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, people fought to restore the railway line to the mountaintop. Today, it has become a symbol of freedom and solidarity. Eastern and Oriental Express, Southeast Asia. A luxury sleeper train offering journeys across Southeast Asia. Specifically focusing on Malaysian domestic routes departing from and returning to Singapore from 2024 onwards. The cruise is operated by Bellman Limited, and all itineraries include private accommodation, all meals, and sightseeing. As of 2024, the traditional route to and from Bangkok is no longer operational. Instead, it is in Malaysia. This trip takes travelers through lush landscapes to destinations such as Taman Negara National Park in Pahang and Penang Island. Carrick Aridi Rope Bridge, Northern Ireland. It's not only impressive for its length of approximately 20 meters, but it absolutely wins in terms of setting. Suspended at a height of approximately 30 meters above jagged rocks and raging waves below. The bridge connects the mainland to Carrick-a-Redyn Island, an ancient volcanic ruin. Walking on a tightrope between two massive rock formations gives a primal feeling as if you are challenging Mother Nature. The system of ropes and wooden planks creates a distinctive swaying motion. Each step you take not only produces a sound, but also creates a rhythmic swaying in the sea breeze. Hussaini Hanging Bridge, Pakistan. Dubbed the world's most dangerous bridge, it is one of many precarious suspension bridges in northern Pakistan. A common feature is the rickety cable and plank bridges spanning streams and rivers in northern Pakistan. Among them is the Hussaini Suspension Bridge, crossing Lake Guayurit in the Upper Hunza region. This suspension bridge is both long and severely dilapidated, with many planks missing and strong winds shake it as you cross. Currently, there is only one suspension bridge connecting the village of Hussaini with Zarabad. Capilano Suspension Bridge, Canada. It's a prime example of the stark contrast. On one hand, a modern, incredibly sturdy steel structure. But on the other side is the breathtakingly fragile feeling when you stand 70 meters above the river at unreal places. The highlight is the gentle creaking and natural vibrations of the bridge, creating an extremely powerful psychological effect. Instead of disrupting nature with clunky concrete structures, Capilano is designed to traverse through ancient pine forests. It's not just a path from point A to point B, but an observatory that gives you access to the highest layer of the temperate rainforest. Originally built in 1889, using hemp rope and cedar planks, Capilano has evolved into a perfect tourism branding machine. Royal Gorge Bridge, USA. Situated 56 feet above the majestic Arkansas River, it is one of the highest suspension bridges in the world. Its massive structure is a marvel of engineering, connecting visitors from one side of a million-year-old canyon. Although the Royal Gorge Bridge no longer holds any world records, it remains the tallest bridge in the United States. With a total length of 1,258 feet, the bridge required the tension of two cables